Yo, what is up, everybody? My name is Kid Ikarus, and this is my podcast. My guests today are a couple of MCs and a producer. You can find their music over on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You can find them collectively, all on the track Gangsta, which has a music video out on YouTube. Please welcome Boiiis and Mera Beats.
Hey, you don't mind if I smoke on there?
I don't mind at all, no. And I have hit record. We are jumping into this. So what is up, y'all? How are you doing? I like this studio. What's the story behind this studio here?
My boy right here, Mera Beats.
Shout out Miggs EG. You know me and my boy Miggs. We got it a little over about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Just been going hard ever since, little by little, making the studio look more professional.
Right on.
There's artists coming in and shit.
Yeah. What's the most interesting session that you've had in here?
Shit. like a group session, you know, if not with these fools right here, both boys.
Okay.
There's a couple other teammates we have in other rooms and shit. Mm-hmm. Just those nice long nights, get the session in, get some good workout.
Did the was it Money All In album get recorded here?
No, actually, we have a couple rooms here with a couple of the people. There's one, shout out Adam on Audio Studio.
Okay.
Recording studios, they have a room here too, and that's where we mainly go to get like a lot of our mix and mastering done.
Okay.
Here we still do all of that as well, but when we want like professional, like how to say, like professional quality type shit, then we go there. But here we mainly like we hang out here, we plot, we get to writing and making beats here.
Okay.
This is like more of the like vibe room, you know what I mean?
We
all come here and make the work.
This the brainstorming phase.
We do record, see how it turns out, and once we're like, alright, it's keyed, then we go to, you know what I mean, bounce to the other studio.
Okay.
And he does all the mix and mastering, the final mastering, the solid.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
All Money In was all recorded there. A lot of my stuff that I have out right now was recorded all there. Yeah. That's where I mainly go to get all my stuff done.
Do you do, it sounds like you do a lot of the writing as a group all together. Is that typically how your process
We all
goes?
write together, but we all write our own shit. You know what I mean? So we're all in the same room, all in the same vibe.
Yeah, there's times where, like, you know,
we'll help each other out and shit.
Like, we'll be here writing songs and stuff. But most of my stuff that I have out now, that's already out, like on all streaming platforms, YouTube and stuff, I wrote that at work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be at work and I just be like, shit on my phone.
I do the same thing.
Getting in trouble and
That's
shit.
why you gotta get fired. You know?
Yeah.
But I'll be at work. Like, I don't know what it is about it where I just have both my headphones on and I'm just straight vibing out.
The like 10-minute breaks, like I feel like that's some of the best time to work, because you know you only have 10 minutes to write, so like you're thinking of it the whole like 2 hours beforehand, and then you go on your break and you're like, all right, let me get this typed in before I forget it, you know.
Or if not, I just sneak out to the restroom real quick, you know. Just be like, I gotta take a leak, and then just be in there writing some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus, you're engaged in stuff where you're like, I don't really care about this anyways. So your brain kind of goes off on that to the things you do care about, right?
I just like writing music, man. You know, everything that's out and everything that's gonna be released this year and the years in the future, like I write all my own shit. So there's times where we help each other out, but for the most part, I write all my shit, all my hooks, all my verses, everything. I write all my own.
Yeah. What I was more interested in is the idea of like, because I am a solo writer. Like I have tried to work in studio with people, and it just doesn't work for me. Like even when I've been on like group tracks where everyone's in the at once, I like go off into my corner and I'm like, don't talk to me for the next 30 minutes because I gotta. So it's interesting to me to hear the way other people work, because my brain doesn't. So when you're in a group and you're doing the when you're doing the planning and getting stuff, what's that environment like? What's the vibe like
so
there?
the first thing we focus on is getting a hook.
Okay.
Saying like a chorus.
Yeah.
Some people call it a chorus, some people call it a hook.
Mm-hmm.
So we focus on mainly getting that at first. We try and do it all as like in a group, and we'll come up with what we can, and then when we get the 4 or the 8 bars that we're gonna do, then we focus on that. We record it, and then everybody feeds off of that, and then we feed off of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Off of what
like,
the chorus is.
Yeah, like when we like we'll be halfway of our verse, whatever, and then we'll be like, hey, let me hear what you got. Let me see what you got.
Yeah.
So we'll be spitting our shit and then vibing with it, and then you know it's like like when it comes down to like to something like that, we don't try to see it as a competition. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to go all in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I'm ready to smoke
like
this
at the end of the day, that's what it is about a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're here to
It's about the
motivate
best
each other,
product,
you know what I'm saying?
right?
Like,
Just
and
what
it shows how high of we can get.
And just what happens is let's say he finishes his verse, he shows us his verse. He listened to the verse. We're like, we want to either go as hard as that or top it off. You know what I mean? So we're all trying to come with the same vibe and have the same vibe in the track. You know what I mean? Because we've worked for plenty of years. Me and this guy together. You know, Boiiis. You know, when we started many years ago, we've met a lot of artists that we did songs with. You know what I mean? They would actually pay for features and shit. And they rap like if they're reading a book. So we try to like spit game to them and let them know, hey, you know, when you gotta express yourself. You know, when it comes to music, you gotta put your feelings in it. You know what I mean? Because if you're just reading the book, people are gonna get bored. They want to hear how you're feeling. So you know what I mean? It really depends on the vibe of the song. And that's what you go towards, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you know what's interesting, what stood out to me in that is that like when you're writing, like somebody will get a verse done first and you hear it, do you ever like pick out certain lines and you're like, oh snap, that word there is good, I'm a riff on that in my
exactly.
I like that. It causes more cohesion throughout the whole song, you know.
We got a couple songs that we recently recorded where for example, like I'll write the first 4 bars, and then somebody else feeds off of that.
Yeah.
And then we put that together, and then we'll be like, all right, you know, I'll say the whole entire thing, or we'll be like, oh no, you say the whole entire verse, you know what I'm saying, the whole hook, and then we'll just see who sounds better with it, and then we'll write it off of how everybody's feeling about who wants to say what type shit.
Yeah.
And then that, like I said, we just feed off of each other. We try to help each other, you know, with progressing on music type shit. So.
What do you guys make the beats in house?
We have a couple other producers that we
but for the most part, lately we've been fucking with Mera Beats.
Okay.
Yeah, the beats. If it's not me, it's my boy Migs.
Migs EG too, you know what I mean?
I like to do say I got these fools when I met these fools. We had one song we made, and then I was like, you know, it's gonna fit you guys perfectly together. Just the sound and like the sound I hear that they have together, I'm like, you know, I could feed you guys this beat. Let me see what you do with it. The artist does good from there. It's all history.
Yeah, the first time we actually met Mera, fucking shout out to Migs EG.
There and then.
He actually met him first, and they chopped it up, and then he invited us here, and that's when we ran into Mera Beats, and then from there we were just, hey, show us some beats, and they were running through some beats, and a beat came. I think it was like the second beat that came up. It was a Mera beat, and from there it was just
video coming soon.
We made history with that beat, and it was like a quick 20-minute track that we wrote. We wrote it on the spot, the hook and the verses, and then
it was quick, like literally
quick,
first try type shit.
We recorded it here, and then we liked how it all came together. And then, like I said, I like to go to Avalon Audio Recording Studios
to do the finishing.
So we go there, we re-record everything, and then we finalize it there, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's how we pretty much go about it.
And then did that come out as like a lead single kind of thing, or like
we got a video to it already.
Oh yeah.
We just received the final.
And which track is that?
It's called Bout It.
Bout It.
I actually posted a little preview last night.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna be releasing it hopefully this month.
Do you find that the songs that you are able to get out quicker are better, or the songs that take a long time to try and figure out and write?
That's a good question. I mean, to be honest with you, I have like me personally, I got probably like over 80 unreleased songs.
Yeah.
in the past 2 years, I just focused on going to the studio. You know, invested all my hard work and money into just going to the studio. You know, and then I like I said, I have a couple other producers that I work with, and they charge me for beats and stuff too. So I buy beats. You know, there's nothing wrong with buying beats. You know, it's an investment. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. It's an investment. I'm investing in myself, and not only in myself, like I invest in my team as well. You know, so we yeah, you know, like I just have a lot of producers that I work with, and I just have a lot of music, and that's what I'm trying to get them on too. Is just working on music day and night, just boom, boom, boom. You know, Mira's got a couple bangers as well. He released a couple hits.
Yeah, I'll say on that question, it depends on me because say tonight we create a track, we record, beats made, everything, and it's a hit already. That's good to go. Yeah. Of course, on the little edits we'll do it, but a song we took a week to do it. Might take 2 weeks. Yeah. We're gonna come back when we have time. Of course, everybody works, family shit, you know. Make it in here, and then we can finalize that track. And we said we'll take it to the upstairs, you know, boom, knock it out. Yeah. So it just depends on who it is too, and if we can knock it out quick enough, the quality's right. That's one more. You know.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Your beat making process. Do you do sample based or do you do programming based? What's your go-to?
I work on Machine 2.0 with the drum pad and everything. I know how to sample, loops, everything, make my own sounds. Okay. But it's just from scratch. That's where it's at too. I start on loops sometimes too. You know, like there's packs you can buy. Download for free too. I'm not done that. But where you buy the packs, sound packs, all that's where it's at.
Okay.
Your own sound and shit, you know?
Okay, so you get sound packs, and do you do like synth kind of lines?
Yeah, it's not me doing synth. It's my boy Mix.
Okay.
He be on that shit too. We got a talk box here. You know, we do all kinds of shit.
Okay.
It's all coming. It's all on the vault, and it's gonna be coming soon. And shit.
Yeah.
Some dope shit. Sure.
Because I make beats that I use. They're not good. They're very I have a background in like heavy music, like hardcore punk and stuff like that, and like the type of hip hop I listen to is not that style at all. But like when I make my own beats, I have to make it because that's all I really know musically. The like more sample based music, I have no idea how to make it, but it's the kind of hip hop that I listen to is more sample based.
But like, as long as you get that sound right, sound tight and right, the quality, and the drums, that's where it's at. Yeah. If you know how to play, like you said, heavy metal, or as long as you know drums, you got a rhythm on you.
Yeah,
Just apply that, just a different genre style, you can't go wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Should be hard.
Hey, after this, I'm actually I got a studio session with Adam at Avalon Audio. After all this, slide through over there. I think you'll click up with him pretty well because he usually worked with rock bands and stuff. He was actually in a couple himself.
Guitars, all that.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll introduce you to him, and he worked. He did. I've gotten beats off of him too.
Yeah, so. I was listening to the band that was rehearsing when we showed up. I was like, oh, those guys are cool.
There's a couple people in this building that go hard, you know. So
that's honestly my favorite type of music to go see. That's the live show for hardcore shows.
I've never been on, but I've seen it go hard. You know?
Yeah, with the like, there's a certain type of moshing that happens at particularly like metalcore shows that are the most fun. What are your influences musically? What do you listen to? Who's the best? Who's the best rappers?
Yeah, well,
like honest, right now or. You know
of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah, who's the goats? Yeah.
I'd say.
So what's your guys' top three?
I'd say Pac. Snoop Dogg, and Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace.
What about you, Mira?
And Pac, rest in peace.
Shit, for me, Pac is up there. Nipsey, that was a good one, and then I'll take it more towards like a Dre because I think there's something that not only with the rap, but just with the whole.
Everything, shit.
Dr. Dre?
West Coast
Dre,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like my top three for the West Coast shit, you know?
Mine for...
Yeah.
Yeah, like they said, Tupac is, you know, I mean, I feel like a lot of people see him as a...
Yeah, Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, people love Tupac.
I really listen to him a lot. I used to listen to Notorious B.I.G. a lot, and I would say Bone Thugs and Harmony. They're like,
Bone Thugs, man.
They're like my favorite. One time they were like my favorite.
I'll tell you what. I mean, those the three that are uncommon between you three are like the three I think are the best out of the ones you named: Bone Thugs, Snoop Dogg, and Dre. Like, I mean, Dre's beats are unrivaled.
I know.
Like,
Bone Thug, I forgot Bone Thug.
Yeah, it's. I mean, every single track off of 2001 is a classic. Like, you hear any of those beats come on, and you're like, oh.
The first part of it is a signature.
Yeah, and then I think for as big and famous as Snoop Dogg is, like, I think people sleep on his first album. Like, it's got some grooves that are a lot more like heavy and aggressive than I think people expect Snoop Dogg to be, because he's so like chill. But you hear that first album and it's kind of fast paced, and like there's lots of blaring sirens and stuff, and some of the best bass lines in hip hop. And then Bone Thugs, nobody has done what Bone Thugs has done.
Supposedly the Migos, but
I mean,
they cannot compare.
like Suicide Boys kind of try to be that as well, but like it's not the same. Yeah,
they're two different genres. That's the thing.
It's that.
They can try and say that this and all that, but
He's gotta pay homage. You know what I mean?
I've heard Bone Thugs in some documentary. They were being compared to Twista, and they were saying like, there's a lot of other rappers that rap fast like us, but no other rappers mix in the harmony, because we're not just Bone Thugs, we're Bone Thugs and harmony. But like, and that's really the thing that sets them apart. Is like, there's a lot that do like really fast rapping, but nobody mixes it up like them and goes into the singing and stuff. And it's it's excellent.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you, shit. That's what I try focusing on too. Like, a lot of my new shit, like, I mean, I love rapping, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do. But in my most recent shit, like last year that I recorded, I've been getting into, you know, finding like
more melodies and stuff.
And shit, you know, learning how to fuck with my vocals.
Yeah.
All that type of shit. So I mean, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard, but I mean, it's getting there. You know, it's getting there. It really is.
Yeah, that's the evolution, right? Of being a rapper, you gotta move on to that and try different things.
This one's all be on some heartbreak shit.
It's
there. You got it. You know that.
Singing and shit.
I love the mix up. I've had because I ask that question a lot to people on here, and every once in a while somebody will say 50 Cent. And that's another person that like his like ability. He was one of the first to me that I know of that did that mix of like rap singing, like, because he does melodies but they're not really singing. He doesn't really sing. He does melodies that are still rapping somehow, but they're still melodic, you know,
like Many Man.
Yeah. Wish
a
death
song.
upon me. Like, that's definitely a melody, but it's not really singing.
He's not singing, but you know, you got that flow.
It's that's some of the stuff I like a lot in hip hop, because it is more they're taking chances when people start to mix in melodies and stuff. What is the next big project for Broke Boys? What are you guys working on?
Well, as of right now,
what should people be on the lookout for you guys?
The
About It video?
Well, I mean, so what I'm technically focusing on this entire year is mainly dropping videos. Like, that's what I mainly want to focus on. So I'm aiming for at least 1 to 2 videos a month.
Okay, that's
so far
that's
we
a
got
lot.
about 3 in the vault. We're about to drop one sometime this month. My most upcoming track that we're going to release is something on Valentine's Day with my boy Money Moneda. Shout out to Money.
And is this one of these heartbreak sing-song songs?
Like, not heartbreak, but it's more on that lovey-dovey type shit. You know, something that we made.
That's good. That's good marketing though. Planning it out like that.
Yeah, but I got like a whole, like they said, I got like a whole heartbreak album.
Yeah.
It's like 7 songs. Not really an album. It's like a little project that I did. It's just, you know, so people could be in their feelings type shit.
Yeah, I like them. I like shorter projects. That's
Well, I mean, like that's what I break it down to. All my projects, if you really go and looking through all my shit, is all 7 songs.
Yeah.
My favorite number is number 7. You know what I'm saying? So I try my best to release 7-song projects all the time.
I'm working on a 7-song project right now.
There you go.
My last one was 5, but this one
Yeah.
leveled it up to 7.
Yeah, nah, I got, like I said, I got a lot of music coming out. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I got shit from 2019 that I haven't released.
What is the Bout It video? What happened in it? How was that process of making it?
So it was more like it was like a out of nowhere type of thing. So we just decided to film a video, and that was one of the most recent songs that
It was
we
actually
had
in here.
at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we recorded it here.
Pretty old,
When you
too.
got when they see it, there's nothing like this.
Nothing
It's like
else.
Oh, yeah?
shit. Yeah.
Yes, so good.
Yeah,
That's all
so,
we had.
and I actually got, like I said, I actually got the final version. So after all this, I'll let you see it. And shit.
Okay.
I got a couple other ones that they already sent me. But yeah, like I said, we got a lot of. Then
Do you guys? There it is. Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys had a mini fridge in here because you guys.
yeah, man, so we got 2 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
For
the
the water
beers in one of them and the water in the other.
Yeah. Because I was gonna ask y'all get lit while you're working on stuff in
I
here.
mean,
I say
something like
lit.
that.
I'm not a cool kid, so I don't know what the word that cool kids use is.
yeah, something like that, you
Just
know.
do our thing.
Yeah.
We just vibe out in here.
A little bit of what we're doing right now,
Like I said,
smoking,
yeah, it's
sipping it.
a room where we vibe out. You know what I'm saying? We just vibe out, just tap into the music and really get into it. You know.
Besides other music, what is the biggest influence on your music?
What do you mean, like?
Like what cultural icons through like through like movies or books or TV shows or like comics or maybe even like political figures who like inspires music and you guys inspires the lyrics.
Shit, I would say like, it's about being part of the culture, you know, the history. For me personally,
Yeah.
I'll do the music. Like I said, icons too. Nothing like nobody specific, but it's just about being part of that history, you know. Like you can make your mark and do away with them.
Yeah.
In any movies that particularly impacted you that like this is
A lot of movies back then, 90s shit. You know?
I want my
I be said-
music to
Blood
sound
in,
like
Blood
this
out.
movie.
Yeah.
You know?
It's dope because even on the credits, the soundtracks,
Yeah.
just get some inspiration too. Like, it's a dope ass movie.
Yeah.
Even while the movie's playing, you know, some dope ass cutscenes. Like, damn, I wonder who made that shit. It's dope that it made it on the movie.
Yeah, right? You ever see, there's a show called Letterkenny, and they had a spin-off called Shoresy, and I get music off of that show all the time, because they play this, like, weird EDM stuff, because there's a group of tweakers in the show that are always dancing outside the liquor store, and, like, they always play these bangers where I'm like, oh, what song is this? I'm gonna Shazam this, check it out for later. Yeah. Let's talk about West Coast Most Dangerous. What do y'all tell me about that?
Shout out Ben Huston.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So OG Ben Huston, he's the one that actually put it all together, you know?
Okay.
So like at first it was just us, you know, just making music, you know, like me and IB, we're pretty much broke boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we started in like 2014 type shit. So like it was a cool little minute.
Yeah.
Like we've been doing, like we've been making music since like, well, he's been making music since he was a little kid, you know, like
Okay.
talking about talent shows and
Oh,
you know
yeah?
what I'm saying?
I'm all over YouTube and shit.
But I started like officially like at 2009, like I started writing music. I was not
Okay.
good at it whatsoever. It was mainly
Yeah.
because shout out my boy Herb Dog and my boy Alel, my boy Alizi. They were the ones that like started making music. They were trying to, you know, record themselves and everything. We had like that game Rock Band.
Oh yeah.
So we had that mic.
Yeah.
We just hung it up on a fucking little drawer and we just hung it there. And my boy Alel had like his laptop was Pro Tools, like it was the sample, what is it, free trial.
Yeah.
And from there we just started recording and they would like help me write and stuff like that. But I was really like he said, like reading, like I sound like I was reading type
Yeah.
shit. And little by little I just started getting more into it and then you know, ups and downs with life came and you know around 2014 me and him really started taking it serious and then 2016 is when we really started taking it serious and then we just been on it ever since then.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the reading thing, like, I used to not feel like I read. Like, I used to feel like, oh, I don't sound like... But I was always quiet, and I didn't realize that until, like...
I was really low.
At some point, like, years after I'd been writing and recording for a long time, and years, and then I finally realized, like, oh, I can get loud. I can get as loud as I want, and like you feel it when I get loud, and like I don't know why that's so hard to realize. You know what I mean? Like it takes so long to be like, oh yeah, I can just kind of shout. It's okay. Like yeah. So you guys, you really started taking it seriously in 2014. You said?
Yeah. And then like we took it like even like I got my own laptop and all my equipment. Like we bought a first mic and everything in 2016. So like I that's when me and him like we were like fuck everything else and just focus on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I got kids and shit, so it kind of slowed me down, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'm back on my shit now. So
but we started taking it, you know, serious. And then about the beginning of last year, that's when we met Mera.
Okay.
And then we also had met Ben Hustling around the same time, probably a little bit earlier, I think it was, where we had met him, and then he kept coming around more often, and he's the one that just blessed us with the name. You know what I'm saying? At first,
he had an idea, and we had to make it come to life. You know?
Yeah, so at first it was us three, and then we just started
bringing
everybody in it. You know, now it's just like a movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We see that like as a movement. You know, like we're trying to get anybody is welcome into it. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody. Like we're just here to get a gang of artists that can push each other. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the West Coast. We can make it a global thing. We don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're here to support other artists and get that same feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like get the same support. And that's what we're mainly focusing on, is just getting people.
Right on.
If we got shows to put people on, then just get it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody eats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like shout out to Feed the Fam, Charlie FM. Like, you know, they have their own little thing, but like I said, you know, we're all West Coast and everything. It's like everybody's in it.
It's like a whole platform.
It's like,
we're gonna create this platform, this scene where if you got your own brand, you can be a part of West Coast More Famous.
Exactly.
That's that title that everybody's just gonna be together.
Yeah.
You know? We're more better together. You know, pretty much.
Yeah. So
it's like
everyone that's making stuff.
You got your own label. It's cool to be part of it too. You know,
like a family tree.
We'll rep it off. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it pretty much came about. You know, shout out Ben Hustling once again. He's the one that is the founder, the CEO.
My CEO.
What was the first Broke Boys project?
You just said it. It was called Broke Boys Project. It was like
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just didn't, like you said, we didn't really know what to. We were just young, you know. We was like trying to have fun, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I believe it was called Broke Boys Project.
Yeah.
What
Boys Records?
was that? Another 7-track project?
It's on SoundCloud, man. It's on my SoundCloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think of it now? Like looking back on it,
it's dope
to
see. You know, man, like the
progression.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because we go, we listen to, it, and it's just crazy to you know what I mean, hear how far we came along, you know, and that's why right now we're pushing it to the fullest, you know, because what we got going on as a team is inevitable for it not to happen, you know what I mean? Like this shit finna blow up 100%, you know what I mean? Regardless.
So blow up. What is the goal?
The goal is just to let everyone know who we are, not just where we're from, but everywhere, you know what I mean?
Okay.
We don't give a fuck about the fame, none of that, but also, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know what I mean, we're in here to change a cycle, you know what I mean? We're all from a hood, we're all from, you know what I mean, bad living, you know what I mean, type of shit, poverty type of shit, so, you know, we're all trying to make it somewhere, you know? I mean, it's all about the money at the end of the day, you know, so we're all trying to fucking change that cycle, paycheck to paycheck, you know? We all out here, we all work, we all hustle, we all do our thing, but, you know, best believe we're all in the studio a lot.
So making a living off of it is the dream?
Exactly. You know, not just making a living out of it, but just, you know what I mean, just letting people know from our neighborhood is, you know what I mean, it's not always about gangbanging and shit. You could take a different route.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people want to gangbang and shit, and, you know what I mean, shit don't go the way that they think it is, because at the end of the day, it's not a game, you know?
Yeah.
So we chose a different route, you know what I mean? Like, we grew up around the neighborhood and you know what's up, but, you know what I mean? We chose music, you know, and that's what we're doing right now. And we're just trying to show the youngins, you know what I mean? There's a way out of that shit, and, you know what I mean? A lot of different ways, not just music, you know what I mean? You could do a lot of things, and, you know what I mean? You just gotta fucking put your mind to it, and it can happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal right there, just let people know.
Are there skills other than music that you have picked up because you're pursuing music?
I mean, we've been doing a lot of shit since youngins, to be honest with you. We used to do a lot of shit, skating, you know what I mean?
Because I'll tell you, like,
a little bit of everything.
I became a decent graphic designer from doing music, from doing, like, flyers for shows or like album arts and stuff. Like that's just a skill that I didn't intend to do, but like
you're actually right, because that's how I look at it. Music is something that we're doing, of course, but that's just another venture that if we can branch off of that. And say we're not making music, we might have met somebody that likes our music, and he has a business idea that we're just like, you know what, let's jump it, let's create this. Doesn't always have to be music, but that's mainly like new business ventures and new people.
Yeah, I mean,
that you come across.
Obviously, like marketing, you pick up, right?
Yeah,
you start to become a better marketer because of the music industry. Is there any more skills?
Networking was a really big thing. I like a lot of people can say that I'm a social person and stuff like that. But at first I was really to myself, you know what I mean? Like I was just, you know, I would only keep it between my circle, you know, my people and shit. Yeah. But now like when I go to shows and stuff, like I like to network with a lot of new artists. You know, I like to work with a lot of artists. Like I'm open to work with anybody type shit, you know? It's just, you know, the work is there, you know, I have to stay busy.
The networking was a difficult thing for me to learn.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so once again, big shout out to Ben Hudson. He's the one that actually, you know, got me to loosen up a little bit and like start talking to people. And stuff like I used
to go to shows and take Adderall because it would
that shit gets you good.
It would help me. It would help me be able to talk to people. I wouldn't be as anxious, you know.
I used to do that shit, bro. I don't do it no more, bro.
Yeah,
I was on the same shit, you know, because I'm more of like my own type shit, but. You know, man, like I know what you're saying with the Adderall. You can talk to the whole world for hours. You know fuck.
Yeah, it would.
Motherfuckers would be like, "Shut the fuck up," you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Going and going.
Which like that's always the fear, and like it's such a dumb fear to have. Because like if people really don't want to talk to you, they'll just leave. You know. So it's like, all right, I'll talk your ear off just because like I don't got nothing else to do, and it makes shows so much more fun. When you're doing that, if I get bored real easy if I don't have a goal. But if I show up with a goal, like all right, I'm gonna talk to all these people. Everyone's gonna know me by the end of the show. Then like I know what I'm supposed to do. And you know, if I can accomplish that goal in an hour, all right, then I'm good. I'm taking off. I did it. I did what I needed to do.
I took Adderall one time, and that's the only time I took it. Fucking come down as a bitch.
Oh yeah. See, technically, it wasn't Adderall. It was this thing called lisdexamphetamine.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It turns into Adderall in your stomach. It's basically the same thing, but it takes longer.
My shit was Adderall.
Yeah, they call it Vyvanse is the brand name.
Hey, but like. Back then in like 2016, we used to do like crazy shit. You know what I mean? We would have shows. We would pull up in party buses and shit. You know So, you know what I mean? Like motherfuckers would know who we are. We'll pull up in party buses in Pomona, fucking LA. You know what I mean? At the Glass House in Pomona.
Oh, nice.
It was a big ass show. We pulled up in the party buses. It was a badass time. Though, let me tell you. You know what I mean? You know, once again, we were all young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, once you hit a different, you know what I mean? A certain age, you gotta. You know what I mean? Try to move different, you know what I'm saying?
Tone down,
Yeah, you know, you gotta move different and be a little bit smart about your shit, you know what I mean?
The Glass House though, that's a dope
bad.
venue to play. Yeah. That's I've been to a few good shows there.
That performer was just me and you,
It was just us. Everybody all the homies that went on the party bus with us, we had them on stage.
All of us.
Oh yeah.
All going crazy. It
was cool.
I saw JID there not too long ago, a couple years ago. Yeah. I saw this band, The Story So Far, a pop punk band there. That was. Excellent show. Yeah, that's a dope spot there, the Glass House.
Yeah, it's cool.
What has been the best venue that you've played at? The most memorable? That one? Yeah. That was the Wu-Tang one. Yeah.
Was
we had a couple of them.
Sugar Free. That was my favorite
Oh yeah,
one.
Sugar
Right?
Free.
I mean, it was my only one to be honest. I've done so far, but we got a lot of them coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened up for DJ Quick and Sugar Free.
Wu-Tang, most recent one.
Before that,
sold out.
Yeah, the DJ Quick and the Sugar Free show was sold out. The Wu-Tang show we just had recently on the 28th of January.
Yeah.
That one was
Novo,
sold out.
fucking Phoenix.
Yeah, we opened up
The
for
Novo
Phoenix
in LA.
That's
I like that
wild.
one. That's a pretty dope one.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I like
It was
that
cool.
one.
It was cool.
Stage.
It was cool.
Oh, you know, I think I may have been. Is that the one like on the second floor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Escalator and you go up.
Where
Dope.
there's like a balcony, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw Owl City there once. Somebody offered me free tickets to see Owl City, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. It was fun.
It's
It
a
was.
dope little venue. I like that one.
Yeah, they have like behind the balcony. They have like the lounge area that's all like chill lights and couches and stuff. Where
I mean, to be honest, we didn't really see the
yeah,
we
you didn't
just saw
see
the
that
balcony.
side.
I
You
didn't know
just
they
saw
had
the.
I mean, I saw the balcony, but I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
People up there though. Fuck.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
crazy. It was packed.
that's
It
awesome.
was
That
packed.
sounds
It was
like a
packed
great
house,
time.
yeah.
Do you do what are some tricks that you've learned in performing that's like that you use to keep the crowd engaged? Is there anything that like any advice you can give
High mans
other
are cool, you know
performers?
what I mean? High mans, you know what I mean? Like the homies that come up with us and support the music will really get the people going too.
That-
You know, you got a bunch of people on the stage.
That
you know,
reminds
they
me
get
of a
hyped
question
up.
I had
You know?
earlier. How are you guys on ad libs? Because that to me is the most frustrating part of recording is trying to figure out what to say
While
during
recording?
ad libs. Yeah.
Recording with the ad libs. Yeah, I mean sometimes we I say ad libs.
Yeah.
Just depends on what I write. You know, I just try to fuck around and go in with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's mainly off of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really try to plan out the ad libs. I know there's some artists that actually write their ad libs.
Yeah.
Like in their lyrics and then say. the
Yeah, I
ad-libs,
think I'm
you know,
about
like,
to be that type of person.
See, I just try to like go off the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just like fuck it. You know, like it like at the end of the day, like. It really doesn't matter what anybody thinks. As long as you're satisfied with what you make,
Yeah.
that's all that should matter. And that's what I tell everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Like, because if you're not satisfied with the music you make, then why the fuck are you making it? You know what I'm saying?
There was a show I performed at a couple years ago, actually, where I met Charlie B.
Shout out
Where we were,
Charlie.
Charlie B. We were in Pomona, and I was supposed to play like 5 songs or something, and then one of the acts bailed, and the promoter was like, "Hey, can you go long?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I ended up doing like my whole mixtape that I had released at that time, and I remember thinking like I was nervous on stage, and then like within like the 3rd or 4th song, like this was the first project I had made that I was really proud of. Like I listened to it and was like, I love this album. Like I can enjoy listening to it. And so as I'm performing, I'm thinking like, why am I nervous? Either they're going to like me, or they just have bad taste in music, because this is good music, right? And so like from that point on, like that's something I learned was like, if I listen to like, I don't know, J. Cole, if I put on Forest Hills Drive for somebody and they're like, oh man, this is terrible, I'm not gonna feel embarrassed. I'm gonna feel like this dummy doesn't know good music, you know? And so that's what I realized about my own music is if anybody is like, oh, this isn't very good, I'm like, I don't get embarrassed. I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for this dude. They don't know what good music is.
Hey, that's some real. You know, like it all comes down to if you're not satisfied with what you make, then what's the point of making it?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like you gotta make sure that you're satisfied with what you make. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's with anything, to be honest. You know, it's literally anything.
Yeah, right.
You
If
know,
you
art, anything. You know, like anything.
yeah, if because you got to do it good, and you're the only one who can define that, right? What, if any, besides performances, is there any advice for young artists? Like, hey, this is one
keep
lesson
going.
I learned. Keep
Just
going.
Keep going.
That probably is the best
Just
advice.
keep going because you'll start to see it. You know what I mean? You'll start to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a plant, you keep watering it, it's gonna bloom. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's
you gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing. And, you know what I mean?
that's not only great advice for music. I tell people like that's the key to
And
success
life,
for anything.
Yeah. Period. You know, you just gotta keep pushing. You know
Like,
what I mean?
people
Shit gets tough, but you gotta keep going.
people get discouraged when they fail, and like that's always the worst attitude. Don't
Yeah.
get discouraged. Like that's how you get good at something.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all ever watch Adventure Time?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a Cartoon Network show. There's an episode where Jake says, "Oh, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something," and like that's the truth. Like you gotta suck at something for a long time, and then you get good at
As
it.
long as you keep pushing at it, you know?
Yeah.
Then you'll get good at it. You can't just fucking say, "Oh, I'm bad," and then just stop and then expect to come back, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The fact that somebody recognizes that they're bad at something is probably the best, because you meet some people who are convinced they're good. And it's like, oh,
I know a
I
couple.
don't know about that, and they don't grow because of that. If you,
Exactly what he said.
My bad. I was,
yeah, people
people
who think they're good and they're just not, like they're never gonna grow because they're just constantly thinking.
The constructive criticism. Don't be mad about that.
Okay, yeah,
Like I said, someone might not know that their fucking vocals are too high or too raspy or whatever. Right?
yeah,
And the homie that does music comes in like, yo, you can say new. Someone can't get mad about that because, like I said, maybe, may not, to whoever.
Yeah.
I like the constructive criticism because it steps your own game up.
yeah. I like that with like. I mean, you take everything with a grain of salt because, like, in the end, it is you.
First you're like, but it's good to think about it too. You know?
Yeah, I show my music to one of the first people I showed my music to is an old high school friend of mine who does not listen to hip hop. Like he I don't even know what he listens to, but it's not hip hop. I assume a lot of folk and like alt rock, you know, and like some of the critiques he gives of my music, I know like. Oh, he doesn't understand this because he's not into hip hop. But like I like having that opinion because now I know what people who don't listen to hip hop think about my music. You know.
Another set of ears.
Yeah. And there's some stuff that's just music based where he gives me a critique and I'm like, oh yeah, that I should listen because he's somebody who knows music better than I do. I know music enough to try and get by. He's somebody who like could have graduated from like art college with a music degree and stuff, you know. So I think taking the constructive criticism is pretty good with that like filter of being like, who is this person?
Yeah, it depends what's coming from too.
Yeah.
If you know somebody's not better, you know, not like that, you know.
Yeah.
If it's coming from someone you're like, okay, this really done. Okay, maybe I could change this up a little bit.
Yeah, and knowing like, is their opinion wrong? Maybe. Is their opinion right? Maybe. Is their opinion just different? Like, what angle are they looking at this square from? Because they might think it's a triangle or whatever, you know.
Another thing too, about back to the performance advice. One major thing that I learned is rehearse. Rehearsing is a really good thing to do because you want to know, you know, what you're gonna do on the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to put a show. You know what I'm saying? It's a show. So if you rehearse it, then you won't go up there with all that nervousness and all that. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? You know? And that's what one big thing that I tell my team. You know, like, hey, we gotta rehearse. So we try every time I have a show, we at least try to rehearse once a week. Type shit, 2 if we can.
Yeah, not to mention nothing's worse than when an artist forgets his words and stuff.
I've done that a lot of times, but luckily I've done it at the small shows.
Yeah.
Where there's like 10, 15 people, 8 people there, you know, so not too many heads. Like, you know, it's nothing bad doing little shows like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, another thing I learned from Ben, shout out Ben Hustling, you know, like, those shows are shows to prepare you for the bigger shows. Like, for example, a couple shows that we've been doing these past couple months where they're sold out shows, like there's over 500 to 700 people in that building where we're just like, you know. So that's why I tell you, we gotta rehearse. Rehearsal's a really big thing, whether you like it or not. It really is a big thing in performing. Because then you and especially if you're doing it with a group, because now everybody knows what's going to be said, where it's going to be said, and
who's taking the front of the stage at certain times and everything.
And another thing that on that, we do all our shit raw on stage.
Oh yeah.
No background vocal, only the hook.
I was gonna ask about that. The doubles.
That shows the talent that you have live too.
Yeah, and it's easier to understand when people rap over their own vocals. You can't understand a thing they're saying.
Might as well just play the song.
Yeah.
Don't even rap. Play the song.
Yeah, y'all ever listen to Hannibal Buress, the comedian? He's got a bit about seeing 2 Chainz, and 2 Chainz didn't perform. He just played his own track, and every once in a while I was like, yeah, he was like, that's got to be the easiest job ever. He doesn't even do anything. He's just like, yeah, okay.
I would understand with those bigger artists,
yeah,
like they perform like arenas and shit. So you know, like they need to have their music play because
because
the surround, they're like it's a whole fucking everything surrounding you. So they have to.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Yeah, I like the live vocals. I like being able to understand the artist. When I can't understand the words that an artist is saying when they're performing, I'm like, though, like, I guess a lot of the times that's just audio quality.
And it's easier when you fuck up. You know, you can catch yourself.
Yeah.
Like and it's easy. Like that's what comes down to rehearsal. You know, if one of us fucks up, then we can carry each other and keep it going, and then you'll remember like, oh shit, this is where I left off at. You know, because I've gotten to a point where I'm up on stage by myself, and I just fuck up, and I literally freeze like, oh fuck, and then I've done it before a couple times, and I'm like, hey, play the next track, you know. So things like that. So it's really good to rehearse. That's like one major thing that I would, major advice that I would give out to anybody.
I did this verse for my buddy's Cypher event recently, and I had done another one in the past, and the other one in the past, he had somebody call out like the day before, and so I stepped in and wrote my verse, and so like the day of, like I was messing up every take because I had written it that day, and so like this time I had written it a little bit earlier. I had finished it the week before, and I had gotten a chance to rehearse it a bunch of times, and even then going there I was like, oh, I don't know how good I'm gonna do this, but as I was performing it I realized that like the more rehearsed I am vocally, the more I can just focus on what I'm doing with my body and stuff, how I'm moving and stuff, because the words are coming out like automatically. It's not, I don't have to think about it at all, and so it helps for people who are more like stiff in their performance. Like, rehearse the words over and over. Then you can just think about the stuff that you're not sure about. It's funny. It's one of those things that like it's the simplest, it's the easiest part of the job. Like I tell people a lot about when people are like looking for somebody romantically, and they think like, oh man, it's so hard to get in shape and look good, but that's the easiest part. The hard part's just being a good person in general. That's a much harder part, being a complete good person. The working out is the easiest part. That's how rehearsal is. Like it's like a workout. All you have to do is put the time in, and you have this major piece of the puzzle figured out. So we're reaching to the end here, and there's 3 of y'all. So I want to make sure we have time at the end of the podcast. I always let the guests shout out whoever they want to shout out. Any fellow music artists, any visual artists, any businesses, restaurants, any funeral homes, whatever, any type of place you want to shout out that doesn't get enough attention.
First and foremost, shout out to the entire team, West Coast Most Dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my entire city, San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
You feel me? Shout out to Mansion of Mayhem. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Feed the Fam. You know, shit.
Yeah.
Who else you guys got shout out to?
Just be clear, who are all these people?
So we'll name everybody in the group. Shit. So
No, I mean, just what was the Mayhem?
Mansion of Mayhem. That Stay Strapped. You know what I'm saying? That's
Shout out Wigs.
Shout out Wigs. Our cousin Goof.
Are these musical artists? Okay.
Artists. And then Feed the Fam is Charlie F. Fan, FTF Rags. You know what I'm saying? Wiley West. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to once again. Shout out to Cuzzo.
Okay.
Shout out to Southland Gangsters.
Yeah.
That's a
shout
Barbie.
out to,
Mr. D.
Yeah. Shout out to.
I say shout out my boy Mace. I see you too. Nate
Shout out
G.
Mace.
Shout out to Eternal Champion.
Ben Hudson,
Shout out
Chuck
to
Berry.
Stupid Ridge.
Big Ace.
Shout out to my boy Young One in the pen holding it down.
Yeah, shout out to
Already
all the
know.
homies in the
Stupid
pen
Rich.
holding it
All
down.
the homies in the pen holding it down. Rest in peace to all my dogs.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
We got
Well,
many more to go, but we're
Yeah.
gonna be here all night if we do it.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts you want to leave the audience with? Any last things to shout out that's coming out soon that people should be on the lookout for?
Well, Valentine's Day, I got a song called I Heart
Okay.
coming out with my boy Money Moneda.
Okay.
Shout out to him.
And is that coming out on SoundCloud?
It's on all streaming
YouTube.
platforms.
All streaming,
all streaming platforms.
YouTube,
And then,
Spotify.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Young Shooter. We got a couple videos coming out.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Noe Gomez. We got a couple videos coming out.
Okay, what was the song from Valentine's Day? Because that'll be out by the time this episode's
Day,
out.
that's gonna be called I Heart,
I Heart.
featuring Money
Better
Moneda.
song.
Okay, so listen to I Heart on Spotify right now.
Yeah.
Go listen to it.
And
Produced.
tap into Gangsta on Mera Beats on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's the music video right there. We got everything.
I Heart is produced by my boy Hex Tierres. Shout out to him.
Exteriors, I got a song called Forgive Me coming out soon. You know, it's my first solo in a minute.
Okay.
You know, that's about to drop, and I'm actually just dropping with the full-on music video. I'm not doing audio, none of that. I'm gonna
Okay.
just do the music video straight up. And
And then me and Mera Beats actually got a whole 7-song project. We're finishing up right
fire,
Okay.
Exclusive.
fire.
now. This is bangers.
That shit
Yeah.
that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Hey,
you.
you know, tap in, meet up beats, West Coast More Dangerous. Studio time, whatever is coming.
Hey, yo.
Even if you guys want features, work, whatever, we all here.
Tap in, hell yeah. Hey,
The
yo,
workers there, let's
y'all
get
can
it.
follow me at Go Get IV on everything. You feel me? Instagram, all that. You know what I mean? Tap in, and also on Broke Boys on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I'm speaking at the fucking speaker and
Oh, yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, what were you looking at the speakers
Meet up
outside?
beats, double S. This is
Yeah.
American.
You can follow me at tone_420 on Instagram. Fucking look us up on all streaming platforms as Broke Boys. That's
Broke Boys.
BROKEBOIIIS.
It's 3 eyes, yo. You feel
Yeah,
me?
hit me up for merch.
Like
Hit me
your
up for
psychics.
Hell yeah, you gotta stay woke. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? You
Ben Hudson,
got the
562.
Broke Boys
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
we got Broke Boys merch out
Tap in
already.
for the
You know what I'm
merch.
saying? We got sweaters, shirts.
Ocean Grown, Chuck Berry, LBC.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Pleasure.
Thanks for sitting down.
Yeah, you already know.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Yes, you already know.
I'm feeling blessed. Tell me how are you? Just let me know if there's anything that I could do. Yeah, I'm feeling blessed. Tell me how are you? Ain't nobody change the world like them servants do.